You saw this is the rubber match, so to speak, in this series. Each team winning a game. The last one, Miami won easily down in the Orange Bowl. You're seeing the Hurricanes in all-white uniforms for the first time since the 1977-78 season when Lou Saban was the football coach. And the Hurricanes will have the first opportunity, but they'll not bring it out as the kick is deep into the end zone, and the Canes will go on the offense. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Miami Hurricanes from their own 20. Of course, Miami last year, we mentioned 8-3. They had the option of when to take the postseason probation. And they elected last year not to go to a bowl game. So Ryan Clement and company, you look at the junior out of Denver, Colorado, and they're ready to rock and roll for this season and hope to be playing in several games at the end of the year. Of course, we mentioned Ferguson not available. McMillan is number 28, and he gets the carry, and not much there. A lot of blue shirts that swarm to the football for the Memphis defense. And offensively, as you look at McMillan, who is starting in place of Danielle Ferguson, had a lot of work in the preseason offensively. You look at McMillan and the rest of the group, and some talented players. And that offensive line, Anthony mentioned it, very, very strong. K.C. Jones, the center, one of the best in the nation. 2nd down and 9, this time a little delay. And McMillan gets away from one Tiger and squirts up about 2 yards shy of the first down. Jeremy Stewart, the strong side safety, wrapped him up. Number 2, the sophomore out of Memphis.
Don, right now they're calling on that experienced offensive line. They don't have those wide receivers there, so the first play they come out 3 tight ends, try to pound the ball, and I'm sure the Memphis defense likes that because they believe that's the strength and they want people to run right at them.
Out of the I formation, Clement now with a check off as he checks out the backfield, and he gives it off to McMillan, the second man, and he picks up the first down. Tony Williams, the left tackle, a senior out of Germantown, Tennessee, and a good first down run by the sophomore out of Bradenton, Florida.
Well, we talked about Richard Hogan's in the opening. There's another guy, Tony Williams, on that defense. As we see right here, nothing fancy about what Miami's doing right now. Just giving the ball to McMillan, saying just get after him. And you have a guy like Hogan's in the middle, and I mentioned Tony Williams at 282. You got your work cut out for you.
McMillan, 5'8", 217 pounds of the sophomore. Here's a pass in and out of the hands. Carlo Joseph, the fullback, was wide open, but you have to think in the initial game he was A, running before B, in this case, catching the football.
The old classic, maybe checking out to see who's running towards him before he catches a football. And it's interesting that he might have to keep checking who's running because word has it, Richard Hogan's has his sight set on number 40, Carlo Joseph, this afternoon. Knows he's a key to this football game, and that's firing up Richard Hogan's.
Once again, the I formation, receivers left and right, flags down as we had some early movement. McMillan, the carry, not much there, but we'll check out the game's first penalty flag. Marcus Gary, the strong side linebacker, a senior from Tupelo, Mississippi. Of course, Graceland here, Elvis's home, but he was born in Tupelo.
Offsides, defense, 5 yards, repeat, 2nd down.
So there's probably an indication as we look at the defense, and Marvin Thomas, a young man, the right end, already graduated. The only one in his family to do so. He's very proud of that, going to graduate school. Those are good linebackers, and Hogan's the guy we highlight there. He's a headhunter. And the secondary, much improved as well. Kevin Cobb, the leader, and he has a twin brother that we'll see on the offense as a running back today. Once again, McMillan gets the carry, and he's elusive, fumbles the ball, and Memphis picks it up. The Tigers get the first opportunity as Keith Spann, the senior from Jackson, Tennessee, picked it up. Kevin Cobb, number 7, is the guy that created it, and the Tigers have the first game's break.
Well, we'll take a look at this Miami offense, how well that offensive line is moving out the Memphis front, but One mistake. McMillan needs to hold on to the football. Right there, you see it squirt loose. And one thing about this Memphis defense is over the last 26 games, they've forced 25 turnovers, so let's make it 26 in the last 27 games.
And you saw the nice play by Cobb, number 7, to knock it loose. Cadre Anderson and the Memphis offense goes to work. Anderson, of course, is a senior out of Oakland, California, came as a junior college transfer a year ago. In the first series against Mississippi State, he was injured and missed the next 2 ball games, and Anthony really never got back into the swing of things. But now he's healthy. He's very elusive. A gain of 3. Unbalanced backfield this time behind Anderson. And Anderson's looking up top. He can scramble. First down. That will be something that the Hurricanes will really have to work on, is containment with Padre Anderson.
Well, that was one of the things that defensive coordinator Bill Miller said they would have to contain. As we look, great pocket here for the quarterback Anderson. You'll see the white jersey's pretty much stopped. He's got that pocket there, but all of a sudden he starts to see a little pressure late. He says, well, I'm just going to take it around that right end because the contain man is not there. Runs it for a first down.
Nice block downfield by Chris Reeves. This time the Tigers go to Reeves, who threw the block this time as the fullback, the junior, the ball carrier. And the Memphis Tiger offense is one that I'm sure Rip Shear and company, Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator, hopes to improve. Cobb, we highlight, moved from defensive back to running back, was a running back in high school, and offensive line with Newton, a young man we're going to talk about later that overcame an injury just about a couple of weeks ago. Second down at about 6. To the near side, here's Cobb, and he's inside the 15-yard line. Tony Coley made the stop, and the Miami defense, much maligned last year because they gave up a lot of yards early in the season, but Fortney and company this year very determined to uphold that tradition of that great Miami defense, and the freshman Mack in the middle of the linebackers. And a good secondary. They had 8 guys competing for 4 spots. Mack is the speedster. You could see him on offense today. Third down and a short 3. It goes to Cobb, and he's going to be very, very close to the first down marker.
Doc, this Memphis offense, well aware of the speed that Miami has. How do you attack a speed defense? You have to counter them, you have to trap them, and they've run 2 counter traps here in this first series. But they're just telling their offensive linemen that for the first time this year, I have a stat here, in 1996, this season, their line averages 289.8. 5 years ago, they only averaged 267.6, so they're much bigger. They're letting them just come off the ball now.
The Tigers have a 4th and 1. They're going to take a timeout to talk it over. Anderson and company trying to take advantage of a Miami turnover. Back to the Liberty Bowl, our Conference USA Game of the Week.
Oh, no. Dinner time and that steak is hard as a rock. You need Miracle Thaw, the incredible new defrosting tray that perfectly thaws any food like magic in just minutes. No chemicals, no batteries, no wires. Just a space-age metal from Mother Nature that thaws frozen food better than anything in the world. Look, this thick frozen steak could take all day to defrost. But with Miracle Thaw, in just 30 minutes, it's butcher block fresh. Incredible. These rock-hard chicken breasts are perfectly tender in only 13 minutes. That's frozen fish. 12 minutes later, it's the catch of the day. Just watch this ice cube demonstration. The tray is cool to the touch, but the ice cube melts like it was on a hot griddle. The superconductive metal tray absorbs the natural heat from the air and quickly redistributes it into the frozen food. It simply speeds up the natural thawing process. Now look, the cube has melted down in just seconds. Amazing. All-day thawing could cause bacteria burgers, but with Miracle Thaw, burgers are safely defrosted in just 10 minutes. Most important, it's lab tested for product and food safety. Microwave defrosting gives you dry, cooked edges, causing poor, stale flavor. But Miracle Thaw defrosts evenly, safely, perfectly, every time. You'll be amazed how fast you can go from this to this with Miracle Thaw. Now only $19.95.
Credit card users call toll-free 1-800-647-4800. Sorry, no CODs. Call toll-free to order or send check or money order to the address shown. Miracle Thaw is not available in stores, so call now. 1-800-647-4800.
the Tigers knocking on the door. They'll face a 4th down and 1 against the Miami Hurricanes here in the first quarter after a turnover by the Hurricanes. And last year, a lot of success on 4th down plays. And the Tigers going for it here in the first quarter. Full house backfield behind Cadre Anderson. And he gives it to Cobb, and I don't know. He might have appears to have made the first down, but only with the second effort.
That's a key point right there. He was wrapped up by a Miami defender, but with second effort, he got the first down. That was Earl Little who made the hit, but there was no way he was going down. He just took it, extra effort. And it was the 3 tight ends, the full house backfield, and they just punched it right into that Miami defense.
Earl Little had him around the ankle, but Cobb getting his first start as a running back, as a Memphis Tiger, and he gets the carry again and squirts inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line.
That was one of the things they were talking about with Cobb. He makes that first guy miss, and in that play, prior play to this last one, the guy had him wrapped up, but he still did not come down as Earl had him wrapped up.
Cobb has carried the ball now on 4 consecutive plays, and Memphis now will face a second down inside the 10. They can still get a first down just inside the 1-yard line. No score. You see it in the first quarter, our Conference USA game of the week. Anderson flips it out. Open is Reeves. He makes the catch, fumbles the ball, but he fumbles it out of bounds. But the fumble cost him a couple of yards. Normally you see it go forward. This time it went in the other direction.
And that was a nice open field tackle by Twan Russell, number 45, the weak outside linebacker, as they put him one-on-one. Right there you see this Memphis offensive line giving Anderson plenty of time to throw the football. Right there, Chris Reeves just lowers the shoulder, and the ball comes out, but it was a nice hit by Twan Russell.
Cadre Anderson, you know, this senior is really excited about his final season. Most likely simply due to the fact that he's healthy. And here's Anderson. He can run out of the pocket, but a good play by the Miami defense, as Anderson this time did not get away, as he slid inside the 10-yard line, and then we're going to see the field goal unit of the Memphis Tigers.
Don, right there was number 90, Kenny Holmes, coming off a game, a twist between another defensive lineman, and when Anderson decided to pull it down and run, Holmes was right there, saying not this time and not this way like you did to the other side last time.
26-yard field goal for Jimmy Keith. It's down, the kick is on the way, plenty of distance, and it's wide to the right. So the Tigers cannot take advantage of the Miami turnover. And, you know, Butch Davis and company breathing a lot easier. It's tough on the kickers in the first game. We saw a short one go wide right. Back to Memphis in a moment. Hyde.
In a hurry.
In a hurry is right. So Miami takes it over, 1st and 10 from the 20, and they're going long, but good coverage downfield that time. It was intended for Magic Benton, but Duran Sutton was there with him step for step, the cornerback. Little play action pass from the beginning.
You know, it's interesting with this offense that the Hurricanes run. One of the things they look to in this offense is right here, they try to get it with Magic Benton here, is the wide receivers need to make big plays, but excellent coverage right there by Duran Sutton. There wasn't a crack in that coverage. Therefore, you can't get a big play.
So that brings up a 2nd down and 10. Again, Clement checking off at the line of scrimmage. And we have a flag, and this play will not get going at all as McMillan ends up with the football, but the officials out of the Big East today rule it dead, and it's going to be a motion penalty against the Miami Hurricanes. McMillan, as we mentioned, Anthony, Ferguson, despite the fact he had the great year last year, you see the infraction against the Canes, didn't practice a whole lot. Ferguson had some nagging injuries, so McMillan got a lot of snaps carrying the ball in practice, so as it turned out, that's probably pretty important.
Not only is this a great opportunity for McMillan, but the coaches were excited because they said he had an exceptional camp, and it was from all that work that he got.
It was Ferguson and Yatel Green that just found out yesterday they would not be available. Across the middle it goes. It's caught by Trent Jones. Excuse me, it does go to Magic Benton, number 8, not number 6. It was Kevin Cobb on the coverage.
Right there, you're looking at Magic Benton. There's a quick pass to him. They're trying to get the ball out quickly, mix it up. It's a great shot. You're the quarterback now. You see things. You see the rush coming. Right there, you see him flash across the middle. He's looking downfield, but if you got the guy wide open there, give it to him. Let him try to make something happen, but not that time.
That penalty, by the way, was for 12 men on the field. That was the procedure penalty against the Canes. A lot of pressure. Clement, though, keeps his balance. It dumps it off to McMillan. Not anything there for the Canes, but an amazing play by Ryan Clement, the junior, at 6'1", 212. He had a couple of Tigers on his tail, and he still got rid of it, Anthony.
A couple big Tigers. Tony Williams at 282 and Marquise Bowling were right there, had him around the legs. But they talk about Ryan Clement. They talk about how he's matured, and right there he showed some maturity and poise.
Andy Crossland, the punter. It comes to rest at the 46-yard line of the Memphis Tigers. Both kickers, place kicker and punter for the Canes, first-year kickers, a 34-yard punt. That time off the foot of Andy Crossland, a redshirt freshman from Dallas, Texas.
Talked about that Memphis defense so far in this first quarter. They're doing a super job, causing a turnover. Right here, they hold them. Force them to punt, giving their offense excellent field position.
Damian Dotson, one of the most sought-after players in the nation from here in Memphis, a true freshman, goes wide right. Anderson back to throw, penalty marker down, and they're going for Dotson, but it falls incomplete. We did have a penalty flag on the play.
Right there, Anderson showed some good poise. He had a free play because as they signal offense on the Hurricane defense, he went through the play trying to hit Damian deep. Little play action. They've been running the ball successfully.
Outside. Defense. 5 yards. Repeat the down. First down.
See, Don mentioned the play action pass. They've been pounding the football, and all of a sudden they come out, play action. Right here you see Damian Dotson right here. He's got a step on him, being double covered. Tremaine Mack lagging behind a little bit, but the ball overthrown a bit.
So that's 5 yards the easy way, but Memphis looks like they're going to give it right back. Looked like the right side of the line moved early. Josh Miller, Ron Sells. But we'll check out the flag, and indeed it is against the Tigers. Yeah, we mentioned Dotson a moment ago. He and Kenton Evans, two of the...
Ball start. Offense. 5 yards. Replay 1.
Two local products that everybody recruited, Anthony. They stayed at home, and Rip Sheard knows that they'll help the team, but more importantly, that sends a message to a hotbed of talent here in the Memphis area.
First of all, Don, it gives this university some credibility. They can keep two super athletes like that at home. That gives them the open door into the high schools, and I said credibility is big.
Keith Cobb gets the carry again. Cobb, an interesting story. We mentioned the fact he has a twin brother. They were involved in a unique play last year where brother Kevin blocked a punt, and brother Keith picked it up and got the touchdown. You don't see that happen very often. But Cobb, a tailback in high school, rushed for over 2,500 yards, but he made the move from defensive back last spring, and they feel he has a lot of potential running the football. Number 6 for the Memphis Tigers. No score first quarter. Anderson to throw, too high, off the hands of Richie Floyd, a sophomore from Mayfield, Kentucky, who they feel really good about, but has had nagging injuries.
He's had a lot of nagging injuries, and I was impressed watching him out at practice. He had good hands. He was really smooth. Right here you see some pressure by Holmes, number 90. Right there, just as Anderson unloads the football, the ball was thrown high. Getting back to Richie Floyd, the coach was impressed because he said this kid can stand right under the basket, slam dunk the basketball behind his neck. But if he can get over those injuries, they're counting on him to do some big things in this 96 season.
Not much for Anderson through the air, but he does have a 10-yard run. And is he going to run again? He looks like he might. He tucks it away, and he will. And he's pulled down on the far sideline. Again, it was was Russell, I think, that made the play defensively. But Anderson's a guy you always have to respect, Anthony, because he's one of those players that can make something happen.
There's no question about it. Has great feet, great mobility, can move around back there. In fact, you know, we saw a little bit of the option running game when we were out at practice, and that Miami is well aware that in their defensive scheme, they have to keep containment on him or he can make the big play running the football.
You look at Drew Paramore, those were his numbers in '95. Magic Benton back to receive it. It's a low kick, and they tell Benton to get away from it, and it rolls out of bounds just about at the 20-yard line, and the Hurricanes will go back on the offense. 34-yard punt.
Things that give you a lot of negative plays, one side of the ball or the other, that really put you in adverse field position.
Butch Davis running out of room for rings. He has 2 Super Bowl rings with the Cowboys and, of course, one with the Hurricanes as an assistant. But the story so far has been the Memphis defense as Magic Benton makes the catch, but not much there. Miami has started all 3 drives from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, the impressive thing about this Memphis defense is we look right here, just a quick turnaround, quick pass, but then you'll see how quick they close in and make the tackle for hardly any gain at all. And that's what this Memphis defense has been doing, giving them the underneath stuff, but coming up and hitting them hard.
Sutton, you saw, made the nice defensive play. This time McMillan, he's a darter, but he runs into a host of blue shirts. But he's a strong little cuss as he was able to get a couple of tough yards, despite the fact Richard Hogan's and a lot of help from his friends were there to wrap him up.
You mentioned the help from his friends. That left defensive end, Marquise Bowling, really stretched that play out, made the back cut it back inside, and when you do that, you have Richard Hogan's right there to gain another tackle.
Of course, Hogan's a pre-season Conference USA selection, and Bowling, a young man that earned a scholarship in the '95 year. 3rd and 4. Clement across the middle to the big tight end. Wow. He caught it and then dropped it. Let's see what the ruling is. If it's a catch, it's going to be close to the first down. It was Gerald Daphmans, a senior from Miami Norland, that made the stop.
And Don, the guy coming up, number 13, Deron Sutton, as soon as the football's caught, he turns it upfield, and he's right there. Another great hit by that defense, but they can't come up with the football. It's a first down for the Hurricanes. This defense is sending a message early in the game here. You're coming to our place, and we're going to hit you guys. Right there, Daphnis losing the football.
Here's McMillan, though, and he breaks free for the first down and then some as he moves it across the Canes 45 near the 47-yard line. And Daryl McMillan from Southeast High School in Bradenton, Florida, rips off a 15-yard gain. That's his 95 numbers.
A little bit of Memphis medicine right there. The Hurricanes have been trying to pound it straight ahead, running outside. And right there, they run a little counter trap, get the ball going, get the flow going defensively, and cut it back on a big gainer.
Final 3 minutes of the scoreless first quarter. Don Russell, Anthony Munoz, Brian Allen, and our Conference USA crew. Our producer, Tom Hewitt, director, Chris Lincoln and company. We're glad you joined us today. And what has been a good one so far, Marvin Thomas on the defense as the carry, this time from Carlo Joseph, the sophomore fullback for the Canes.
Very impressed with another player on that defense, Marvin Thomas. You know, he sat there and spoke to us. You mentioned that he had graduated, the only one in his family. But just their whole perspective on what it's going to take for this Memphis defense to be or to reach the goal that they have, and that's #1 in the country, and that's for all 11 guys to be swarming to the football. And so far in this first quarter, they've been doing that.
Well, we have a temporary delay as they check out something over on the sideline, possibly with the change. That's the thing about football. Of course, you were the big old lineman. You were in the middle of all the action, but here when you're in the press box, it's about as impersonal as it's ever going to be. You liked the heat of the action, though, didn't you?
That was the best. You know, there was a few words that were said down there in the line of scrimmage, and had a chance to learn a little bit about other players, and not necessarily from the player that you're learning about it, because there was players on the other side of the ball that were telling telling you things about players, so you learn that way.
See, they get the new fancy sideline deals, and now they have trouble. Let's check in with Brian Allen now about the Memphis defense. Brian.
Yeah, right now the defense is very hyped up about what's going on. The first two series, they were very emotional, talking about they can play with Miami or any team out there hitting very hard. The coaches want to make sure that they don't get too lost in that emotion and penetrate the defensive linemen, do a lot of penetrating, and the ends to contain Ryan Clement.
So I tell you what, the Memphis defense and Ryan Clement over on the sideline, you can bet he's been talking to Larry Coker, the offensive coordinator upstairs. And Clement now still looking over to the sideline, and now they're going to have to make a change. The first substitution of the sideline marker, the down marker of the 1996 season. See, you get rid of the old fancy kind, you flip over. They go with now these digital deals where you move them up and down. Technology didn't work.
That's right. Right. Well, that was one of the new ones. I thought myself they were bringing the old kind you flip over, and unless it falls off the little hinge, you don't have any problems with the old ones. But you know, things are being made better. At least they're supposed to be made better. Not the case on that first one.
Second down and 7. Once again, early movement. McMillan gets the carry and is going to have close to first down yardage for the Canes, but flags are all over the surface here at the Liberty Bowl. First time that the Hurricanes have been in Tiger territory in this one. If you joined us a little bit late, Miami committed a turnover. Memphis had an opportunity.
Offside. Defense. Decline. Results of the play. First down.
So that tells the story. It is a first down. Memphis missed a 26-yard field goal in a scoring chance after the Miami turnover.
Don, Ryan Clement doing an excellent job with the inflection of the snap count, and therefore you get those defensive linemen that are ready to get across, but a little too soon.
Here's McMillan. Boy, that time he ran into Richard Hogan's, and you talk about a bear hug. He got a hold of the 5'8", 217-pound sophomore McMillan and just wrapped him up.
You know, the thing about this defense, Don, is they expect the front four to get the pressure on the quarterback in the pass. They expect the front four to create things, and they do. And all of a sudden, you get one of the guys in the middle, Richard Hogan's, comes up and cleans it up. Not a big blitzing football team defensively. A lot of confidence in that front seven.
Out of the eye, a gain of a couple of yards. Clement for the first time on the rollout and underthrew the intended receiver, Carlo Joseph. Clement, normally a pocket passer, this time came to the near side, but underthrew that pass.
You know, just as I was talking about this defense not being a blitzing defense, they showed the backers coming up, in there tough, and all of a sudden when the ball snapped, they back off. You know, defensive coordinator Jim Fletcher says it's a matter of picking your spots. It's a tempo changer when you blitz, and right there they showed it, but they didn't come.
A big third down play and a scoreless first quarter. And Ryan Clement to the air, and it's batted down. So the Memphis defense doing an outstanding job of keeping the Miami offense off balance in this one. And the crowd appreciates the solid D.
Don, just as I was talking about the four-man line, you see right here they come with the three-man rush, number 69, Manny Santabanez, right there. He gets up with that nice vertical jump and knocks the ball down.
So on the Miami punt, it's a good one as it comes to rest. No return as the Canes down it at the 9-yard line. Good job by Fulcher that time on special teams to get downfield for Miami. Same page now.
They really are. And you talk about a better sense of the system. They have bought into the Sure system, and that makes a big difference.
Cobb gets the carry. Keith Cobb, the junior from Cleveland, Tennessee, and he runs into Michael Lawson, a 6'1", 273-pound sophomore from Delray Beach, Florida.
Don, you mentioned his weight, 273. He's actually gone up 30 pounds in weight to make himself bigger.
And this is the biggest offensive line in Tiger history. Averages 287 pounds. Second down and 8. As we wind down the initial quarter, Cobb had some daylight, picks up some good yardage, and then takes a nasty knock from the Hurricane defense.
Well, one of the things both these these offenses have found that you're going to have more success running some counter plays, running not straight at them, but letting them read one way, letting that speed pursue one way, and then cutting it back, and that's what Memphis just did.